I'm not alone today.
Oh, but you're never alone. I'm back!
She's
Yay!
back from her travels. So that's fun.
Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy Crazy Energy Days. So, I'm sure Paula has come back well grounded and rounded out. So we're going to have to step into her energy. That's, depending on where you're processing too, you might be feeling it too. But so are you sure you don't want to go first, Paul?
If you really want me to, I will.
It does not matter. We will just, my guides did ask me, they told me to start with this Divine Matrix card because Paula and I have been talking about this for abundance and all of this stuff. So, because it's been a common thread between us, right? Like, what's the divine, like, how do we step into the Divine Matrix? So, what my guides say about the book that they've guided me to, the realm of spirit, the knowledge that we are all divine beings, part of a tapestry, weaving our dreams into the fabric of reality. Synchronicity, learning to trust the way things unfold. Now, this is what I really find interesting about this one, is that imagine that everything is possible under the sun is waiting to be claimed. You are not separate from what your desire to manifest. Everything is intrinsically connected within a vast living web of life, a divine matrix. Even that which you have not yet observed as part of your life experience is still connected to you. It remains dormant until you choose it. So lots of people have the question, go, am I being greedy? Am I asking for too much? Because I already have, a fulfilled life. Right there it says, if it's there and it's in your energies, choose it, because it is dormant within your, but until we choose it, we can't wake it up, right? It's like going window shopping and you're going by and you see something you like. If you don't go in the store to actively get it, you're just kind of looking by it. So we're going to really stretch your thoughts today, I think, aren't we, Paula?
I really think we are, because when you came on and told me what you wanted to chat about, I giggled.
Yes, you did.
I just had that experience in Arizona, and those, when you get to talking about it, that realm of the universe and co-creation with these beings is not something that I would have said I was very interested in, nor very aware of, until I had just come back from this conference. So take it away, girl. Mm-hmm.
So our topic today is aliens. Well, sometimes you call yourself alien because you don't fit into your family. You feel a little alien, but we're not talking about that. And I don't like calling them that, because they're very intricate in working with us, right? When I look at the word alien, I always think of the word align. So they align with our energies. They're very subtle in how they help. But they are, from what all the podcasts I've heard and what my guides are telling me, is that they're going to become more and more prominent on our earth, because they share a lot of the wisdom that we need. They've been if you go back and listen to Egypt and the pyramids, it was actually the Arcturians that created them. And there's evidence of that that's been shown, scientific evidence. So I think this is amazing, because the things that we think we know, new information is being uncovered as we're ready to receive it, and as we are ready to embrace it, because they're a very different vibration. The other thing, we always talked about water, right? Well, Paula, how important water is on this earth, right? We can't be without it. So when you see that the stars break up in the universe, water comes down into our earth. That water that we're taking in is actually the assistant that is helping us to upgrade, because there are crystals, there's information in there. So that's why water has been so important. Not only that we are so much water, but that is the substance that's carrying it to us for transformation. So just being aware of, and that's why everybody's been so particular about what water you drink, what do you put in. Like I've said to people, use your Reiki, use your crystals very carefully to upgrade your water to a different level. Um, remember, was it Osmodo, Paula, that water
The
that, you know,
snowflakes, yeah,
this,
the
yeah.
crystals,
So
yeah,
when you treat water with different emotions, the crystals in the water actually change. So
it's
what we're being,
vibration.
yeah,
Hmm.
different vibrations. And
Hmm.
what we're asking to do now is actually imprint our water with love, right? Imprint our water, because then you're taking that in, and you're, so even if you're doing something for family at home and you're like, just imagine that energy of love. How many times have we said, oh, that must have been made with love?
Yeah,
It's true.
it
It's
tastes
true. The
better.
vibration,
Yeah,
it tastes better,
yeah.
whatever you do. So really, it's we use it kind of, loosely, but it's true. It is.
Mhm.
So not going back to this. So, and going back to what we were talking about, aliens, or like I said, that's not really. They are coming here to support us because we are upgrading, and these energies right now are moving fast and furious, and that's because they are needing us to come to match to what they are. They're not those crazy movies that you see where they're little green man running around. They're not like ET, and like Paula has said, there's the Greys, and there's all sorts of different ones. Um, but it is a perception that has been put out there by media. It's kept us connected to them because we have watched them, um, but not really who they are, not really what they present. You think of how sometimes you've been misrepresented because of fear, or somebody has said something about you. That's the same for them.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to let Paula talk, but there's lots of other things that we can get into in other podcasts, Paula, or our lives, Paula, about Lemuria, Atlantis. This is all connected to all of this as well too. So I know lots of new talk today, but go ahead, Paula, share your beautiful experience.
Well, I mean, this is just, it's like you were sitting there with me at the Ascension Retreat in Arizona
I
because
wish.
so many, I know, but so many people who have been devoting their lives to star walkers, star seeds, aliens, ETs, ultra celestials have been chatting this weekend. And I've been very educated. That was not really my interest, my focus. My focus was more spirit guides, the Palladians, stuff like that. But to open my mind and my heart up to extra celestials, extraterrestrials, was something that was very new to me. And they had explained that the stars do emit stardust, and it comes down and it helps to clear. And as humans consume that, it's helping to clear and to upgrade and upload. And you're very right. The media portrays the ETs as something to be feared of or scared of, because unfortunately, um, they're here to help awaken and to upgrade. And when people learn that they are of higher power and that they have all the power in their heart center, and then the people who think they have power no longer do. So that was a big focus for this last weekend. Was they are not here to be scared or feared. They're actually here to help us awaken and protect the planet. And they're challenging the powers that be, because the powers that be really just want us to forget who we are, forget that we're powerful, forget that we're souls, and forget that connection and love is the only thing that matters. So when they're constantly bombarding us with fear about them, and fear in the media about staying away, social distancing, you see where I'm getting, is that that's where they're putting a wedge in between us, something that they've been known for a long time, that when humans get it, when they awaken, that all you need is connection and love, it's awakened. And when you're awakened, you are full of love and you're healing the planet at a very high speed and a high rate. And they showed us, and they showed me throughout this whole weekend, that now is the time that we're tipping those scales finally, and that the people that think they're in control or in power are really afraid, because they see so many people being awake and adopted to that particular mindset. So you may see them, you may feel them. They're tall whites. I think Susan was saying she has some tall whites on her property. There's grays, and there's hybrids as well. Um, and it's okay. You know, they're here to kind of be on our side with the battle of awakening that's going to eventually end in 2026. So it's another 2 years of tumultuous times where people are going to be caught between, do I believe the powers that be, or can I open up and can I understand that I am a soul? I don't have a soul. I am a soul, and lead with love. So yeah, it was very profound this weekend. If I could just sum it up to that, I mean, and the fact that you said, Susan, oh, I'm going to talk about aliens today. I'm like, yes, let's do it, because I had the honor to meet a couple who were downloaded and channeled there, and I was just fascinated. And the people around me were like, well, you don't know who Bashar is? I'm like, no. And people like come and they revere him, and I'm like, cool. And it was funny. His spaceship was actually parked in Sedona, where I was on top of Bell Rock. And I went to the vortex and I went to feel those energies. I mean, I didn't see his spaceship because he obviously, it's invisible. So yeah, can you imagine the mass propaganda if it wasn't invisible, right? Are we ready to not freak out? That's the question. Are we ready to not freak out if we can see it?
That's exactly it. Thank you for sharing. It sounds amazing, Paul. I know I got to hear a lot of the stories and the sharings, which is beautiful. But interesting that I got the information. We hadn't talked about the star stuff or anything. So this is what, like, Paula and I want to share. It's like we kind of go, okay, we're going to talk about this, but we never know what the other one is going to download, and it always synchronizes with the other.
It's always the same. And I'm like, dude, are you serious? And of course, we laugh even though we know.
Yeah. It happens every time. But and remember, like, we talk about being in love, but that doesn't mean going, oh, it's all. Being in love is strength. It takes strength. It takes strength to keep your boundaries, to say no. That's love. It's not about saying yes all the time, right? No. It's not about, it's not. It's just about your intention is from love, and sometimes that is about taking a hard road. Sometimes that is about taking
disappointing others.
Yeah, it is, and I think that's where everybody kind of gets caught. Is that perception of it.
Love isn't giving away your free will or your health or your boundaries. That's not love. That's being a martyr, and being a martyr will get you nowhere but sick, right?
Absolutely. So how did you feel? What did the energies feel like when you felt the spaceship?
Oh my God, it was so cool. I went for a couple hikes. I took myself to a couple different places in Sedona. It was just this like overwhelming sense of peace. It was like I was breathing in different air, and being surrounded by 500 people who thought like I thought, who believe in the soul's purpose, and who believe in devoting their lives to helping others awaken. It was just so magical. And I went and I took myself for a drive, and I went to the village, and then I forgot that not everybody thinks like me. And I was like, oh, okay. Just chill, Paula. It's cool. You're not amongst all your people right now. But I got so accustomed to being around such gracious, beautiful people that I had a hard time going through the airport and sitting on the plane. And they go, well, where did you just go? And I tried to explain to them, like, oh, you're a psychic medium? And I'm like, yeah. And it wasn't the norm, right? And you get, right? You forget that it's not the norm out there, right? You forget that people are still believing that they're just a 3D body. And they think that whatever happens to them is just their reality. And they forget that they can control that reality themselves. So yeah, it was definitely profound stepping away from the Ascension retreat. But I definitely stepped into knowing who I was a little bit more, and being okay with saying, yeah, I'm a conscious channel and a medium. What do you want?
Yeah. And that's, remember what we were talking about too, about when somebody asks you, who are you? What do you do? We always lead with our profession, right? We talked about that. But what you're leading with now is who you are, right? Mm-hmm. Who you are with inside. And I'm not saying your professions and that aren't they're they're an important piece of us, but is it who you
Yeah.
really are? That's all I'm asking you to look at. Is it who you really are? So, yeah.
Yeah. If you want to hear the story of actually what happened to me, I went live on Higher Love Paula last night on Instagram. So check that out. It's a very cool story of what happened to me there. Yeah. So just check that out. I won't go into it right now, but I called Susan up like, I'm like, are you awake? She wasn't awake because I'm 3 hours behind. And I'm like, you won't believe what just happened to me. So anyway.
So I got it first thing in the morning. I'm like, I'm awake now. And then she's not awake.
Yeah.
So I had to wait.
Yeah. We were in a distance. We were in a time zone change, right? So yeah. So it was an amazing place to be. And I encourage anybody, they are selling some replays of some stuff from the Sedona Ascension Retreat, or if you're being called to come to one of Susan and our gatherings, we meet in person. Susan holds beautiful connection circles Wednesdays and Saturdays, and to be in that community, to be in personal vibration, I'm going to tell you, it was priceless. I highly recommend it. We will be offering more of that together and alone, Susan and I, to come and meet us and work with us, because we have definitely stepped into knowing that we are on board with all the light workers to help everybody out through this lifetime. So it's amazing.
And I'm going to be stepping into more. The animals are really calling to me. And interesting, Paul, you know how that sign is. I always get my blue jays if I have a question about what I'm doing. And you and I are talking about aliens, and he comes outside here and he's just making a racket. I'm like, okay, thank you for the confirmation, right?
Yes.
So as Paula is pushing me to do, I'm going to start doing some just mini readings for animals. So you'll see me on there soon doing that. And don't forget to join Paula on Tuesday night. She's doing her tarot and information night.
Her teachings in tarot for Tuesday. Higher love. Yeah, the triple T's from the teach.
From the teach. That's it.
And it was funny that you said that aliens remind you of the word align.
Mm-hmm.
I think aliens remind me of the word ally. So they are allies.
Oh, that's a good word. That's a good word, too.
Right?
Oh,
you know? Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Ally and an aligned ally.
An aligned ally alien friend.
Yes, that's it. I like that. Do you want to show your cards that you got today, or is that even in?
I've got, like, I'm surrounded by them right now. So I went to see Matt Kahn speak as well. He was one of, oh my God, the beautiful speakers. And he's Matt Kahn, so Khan. Check him out on YouTube. But he's all about love. And he made this really cool mantra deck. And I picked out honoring adversity today. And the mantra is, a fire reveals a path of renewed direction once the burning is complete. So this reminds me of, you may feel like you're literally on fire and it may hurt and it's glowing and you're expanding. But when that's done, you've transmuted and it is complete. And you honor that adversity you had to go through to get there. I don't know, Susan, were you on fire for the past month?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we both were. Yeah. We both were, right? You know, so yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
This mantra is for processing unforeseen changes. So the changes that you've always asked for that actually came, that you're like, whoa, I didn't mean like now. Tough nuts. Now it is.
It is
or
now.
Overcoming superstitious beliefs. Like, I'm not really coded to have any money or abundance. I was taught that I have to work hard to get things. Does this sound all familiar? And surrendering the ego. Oh, the ego. Edging, as Wayne Dyer says, edging God out.
Yes.
When you're in the ego, there is no room for source.
There is not.
Have we not all been here?
And still comes in waves.
Yeah. So let that fire burn, babies. Let that belief system go. Yes, changes are happening. Even though you called them in and you didn't want them right now because it's too uncomfortable, tough nuts, it's happening. Go with it. Study the course. It will burn out. And when it burns out, you will transmute. And you are going to transmute so beautifully. And you're going to step back and you're going to have the hindsight and the 2020 and go, oh, shit, that was for me. Isn't that always the way?
Always is. Yeah. Always is. Yep.
And I've got the 4 of clubs. So this is the book of life. This is my advanced numerology. I'm in this course now. It's kind of fun. So you can see how stable the 4 is. The 4 is a number about grounding, it's foundation stability. And the clubs remind us to be strong in mind. Strong in mind when we honor adversity. Strong in mind, the hangman came. When we are forced to see things a different way. It's all about the hangman. You're hanging upside down. Check out the view. Guess what? There's more than you know out there for you, and there's more than one way to look at it. And if you really just hang in there, a path will be revealed to you, and you will understand in your mind and in your heart your next step to go. And that is my message for you today.
That's a pretty powerful one.
Thanks, girl. I have more, but I feel like those are the ones that I really wanted to put together and to honor. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's working, and like that's a pretty powerful place to start, Paul. That's not even just to start to work from. And like Paula shared, remember, we're going to have our peaks and valleys, but when you kind of do that, you go, oh, right, this is familiar. This is what I need to do now to kind of move back up, right? So it is it's remembering what you've been taught, what you've learned, what you need to readjust. It's not about a judgment time. And I know Paul and I have had a big, lots of talks about that, how quickly we stand in the judgment and go, oh, I knew better than to do that. But it's not about that. It's just a reflection to go, yeah, I don't want to be there anymore. I did it again. So you're like, okay, now I'm moving forward. And I know, because I've heard it, and I know Paula's heard it, about people standing in that I'm stuck mode too. Right now. I don't know which way to go. And Paula does beautiful blueprints that you can find out what your directions are, what you need to do for movement. There are things out there. Literally move your body. But if you want to get deeper, then take those other steps to go deeper in to find what you need to do. Because March, April, it's going to be coming in like Paula said, with a wildfire. So it's going to be coming in. Are you ready? Do you have the tools to work with it? Do you have the insight to work with it? Then and remember that you do. Sometimes we just have to dust it off and polish it off, right? So.
Yeah, and it's really simple. I mean, I'm going on, Susan's like, who are you? I'm going on every day at 9 a.m. on my channel, Higher Love Paula, on Insta and Facebook, and I'm doing a coffee talk. And it's a 10-minute coffee talk, and it's helping people go back in and remember their source. And if you can start your day with that every day, it'll start to become habit, and then it will start to be knowing. And you get out of here and you get into here. So I did one this morning. So go watch that. You can play it as many times as you want if you forget that you are source and that you are in control of your reality. And if you're forgetting to lead from love, go and remind yourself. I would do one here now, but we're almost out of time. But those resources are up for you. Make sure you follow us both. We do come together a lot, but we also have our own specialties and our own programs going on. And we are here in service to you. Susan loves animals. She's very powerful. She started to giggle when I told her this. But every time she's in the room or she's on the screen, she's got this. She's a healer. She's a healer. She's got this energy. She is grace. She is one of the most, I'm going to say one of the most because I met a lot this weekend, but powerful channels that I've met. And she doesn't know it, and I tell her every day, but she's doing great work. And she is so good at channeling and giving one-on-one readings. And then having you one-on-one is like captivating. I used to be a client. This is how we met. And if you're looking for some support and guidance, then check out her coaching program and go to her connection circles. And her hands of healing are coming this Friday, right? We're back Friday.
Thank you for all that. Oh my goodness.
Of course. You can't toot your own horn, right? But you need to toot it. And you know, anybody else has struggled with this in their life, whether they're an entrepreneur or not, it's really hard to ask and stand in your power and know your worth and value.
It is.
And until that clicks in, you know, sometimes you underestimate yourself and you underestimate your value. So this is a friendly reminder for everybody. You are valued and you are so worthy. Yeah.
Well, when Paula came back, she opened, her channel was quite open. So I got a very direct message of which direction I'm supposed to be going. And all of it was like spot on. And I'm like, oh, come on. It's like, yes. So, you know, connecting with her as well. It's amazing. And she loves the ones that have passed, love to connect with her. So if you come and connect with us on Friday and usually Sundays in our circles, lots of these beautiful spirits come through to bring love, to bring completion to you. So, you know, she even shared with someone this morning where she was out doing something and their loved one had come in. So, you know, you never know where you're going to hear them from, but if Paula sees them, you'll hear about them.
And you know what? I opened up my website today, and there's actually a mediumship reading, which you'll be very proud of me about, and it's on there. So if you want to connect with a past loved one, book a reading. And then there's their soul blueprints, as Susan said. But we just, it's 12:27. I know that I'm not pulling cards for anybody. I know that we're all busy and out and about, and most of you will be catching the replay today. So thank you again for joining us. Let me check and make sure I'm back on Wednesday.
Thank you. Make sure you put some feedback in the, you know, the replay though. Make sure you put some feedback in the replay because we would love, this is a different topic for us. So we'd love to know what your thoughts are on it.
Yes. Have we been abducted? No. Maybe I was in Arizona. My daughter's like, Mom, who are you? You're a totally different person. I'm like, you know why I'm a totally different person though? Because I made a conscious choice to be 5D every day. And if you don't know what that means, go check out my post from this morning and from last night. And I will help you every day remember that you are 5D. You are a source. So love you.
Absolutely.
Any last closings?
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.